guys, what is up? My name is Meaghan and welcome back to Book Talk with Meg, or welcome if you're new, and welcome to the first week of the Owls. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, and it is officially the beginning of the Owls. So that's very exciting. That's why I decided to start vlogging again today, because I do want to vlog the Owls. I think it's going to be so much fun, and since I have so much time on my hands, I decided, why not? I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but I want my channel to be more of an escape, quote unquote, so we're not talking about it here. I do want to say I acknowledge everything that's happening. I hope everybody is staying safe and practicing social distancing, but I don't want to really have to go and do a discussion about it. It's proven to have given me a lot of anxiety anyways, so we're just gonna move on from that and start chatting about fun things like books. I've been reading a lot of great books, and I've been getting a lot of great books too, because March 22nd was my birthday and I got books from like my boyfriend. I treated myself to a few books, so really excited. What else? Oh yeah, because we are now in April, I need to fill in my first quarterly check-in for my Always Fully Booked planner, which I love this planner. This is probably my favorite planner I've ever owned. It's like a regular planner mixed in with bookish things. It is also created by someone who's Canadian, so that's always better for me. But yeah, so I'm going to fill that in today. I'm really excited. And it has like a section for your reading goal, and I've been doing so well with my reading goal, you guys. I've read 21 books as of now, and my goal is 52 for the entire year, so we're ahead of ourselves, which is great. I want to keep that going. Yeah, let's talk about books. Yesterday I read an entire book in one sitting, and I didn't include it in my March wrap-up because I had already filled everything out for my my March. Let me show you guys. My March wrap-up spread here and all my book reviews. So I decided I would keep it for my April wrap-up, even though it was March 31st. But the book I read is The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane by Julia Nobel, and this is a middle grade book, and you guys, I haven't read middle grade in so long, but I adored it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I was in the middle of this book, and I already ordered the sequel. I loved it so much. It's so interesting, and I just love the writing style. This follows our main character, who is called Emmy, and her dad disappeared when she was 3, and it's always been her and her mom. Her mom is a child psychologist, and we begin the book when her mom is at like a book launch where she obviously wrote a book about like child psychology, and she kind of announces to Emmy that she's going to move from America to the UK all by herself to go to a boarding school while her mom works on this TV series where she helps families in need, and because of her job, you know. And Emmy at first is kind of devastated, but then she learns things about her dad that kind of connect with the school, and so she's motivated to go. We follow her on her journey in this new boarding school and sketchy things that happened. It's incredible. It kind of reminds me of Harry Potter in a few ways, and I'm not saying that like as a huge comparison, because this book stands incredibly on its own. I mean, it's not like trying to be Harry Potter, but there's the boarding school element in the UK, and Emmy has 2 best friends that she makes at this boarding school, Jack and Lola, both of who were at that boarding school several years before Emmy gets there, so they're more acquainted with the entire scene, and it's kind of like their journey, and they go on kind of like a quest, I would say. And everything about this was amazing. There are discussions of family and trust and difficulties in each household, and how not everything is perfect, and social expectations, and what it's like to have different kind of parents and different parenting styles. And I just love this book so much. Like, This was amazing. Such a great way to finish the month / start a new month, and I just really recommend this if you guys want to pick up middle grade but you're not sure what you'd be in the mood for. Read this. And the next book should be coming next Monday. I might try to squeeze it in one day on my TBR. It's called The Secret of Whitestone Gate. I don't know how many books are going to be in the series. Hopefully it's not just 2, because I'd love to have like an ongoing middle grade series. But yeah, there's that. For what I'm going to be reading now, I'm obviously going to start my Owls. Let me get a book. So as I mentioned in my Candyland Picks My TBR video, I did pick up Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I'm not really far into it. 57 pages into it. This book is 800 pages. I do want to try to read a little bit of it every day, because I don't think I could just sit down and like read this in 2 days, because I'm not a big fantasy reader. But I've been like tabbing it and highlighting things so I make sure I'm not confused, and like getting the characters down and the world building, because there's a lot of world building and character introductions in here. But I've seen so many hype reviews about this. So this is my owl for Ritmancy, I believe, is to read a book outside of your favorite genre, which clearly fantasy is not my favorite genre. So this is going to be ongoing in this vlog. And for today, I do want to try and make a serious dent into Killer Kingdom by Alexander Christo, which is my book for my defense against the dark arts, which is to read a book that is set by the sea or the coast, like a coast. And obviously this one fulfills that, with it being kind of like a mermaid or siren book. I read like 60 pages of this like 2 years ago and decided to drop it, but I didn't want to DNF it. So we're going to try and make a comeback and read this. If I really don't like it again, then it's going to be DNF'd and put in the unhaul pile. But I have hopes. My reading has changed in the last 2 years. So this is what I'm going to be attacking today for the most part. It's like, what time is it? 2:30. So I still have the majority of my day where I could read. All my chores are done. My laundry is done. All the cleaning, pets are taken care of, so all I gotta do now is read. I'm not gonna do anything else really today. But yeah, that was my very lengthy introduction. Read this. I'm gonna go read some of this. I'm not sure it's a good idea to read a fantasy with a fantasy, but I want to try to knock out a few that I'm like more on the fence about first, so that the rest of the month is a little bit easier to get through. So yeah, hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and I'll update you guys when I have a little bit more thoughts on what I'm reading. Hello friends, it is now Thursday. Sorry if I look exhausted. Apparently I am. I didn't really update you guys more than that yesterday because I decided to dedicate my day to reading, and then my boyfriend came home and I just still feel weird kind of vlogging when he's around. But yeah, I did a lot of reading today. Sorry if the lighting's a little weird. It's real gloomy outside and I think it's like affecting my body a little bit. I'm more in pain with my back, and my head is just feeling kind of lightheaded, so I'm feeling a little bit weird. But I wanted to update you guys because I have been doing great on my reading. I officially completed my first owl for the Owls 2020, and I did read To Killer Kingdom by Alexander Christo, which was my defense against the dark arts, so check that off the list. I didn't really like this at all. I mean, I did finish it and I didn't skim read, which is not that I ever skim read, but you know when you really want to DNF a book, like I don't know how many times I considered DNFing this, but I didn't, and I pushed through, and I think I'm giving it 2.5, 2.75 on Goodreads. This book is kind of like a dark retelling of The Little Mermaid, with some obviously twists and changes and that kind of stuff. But I didn't really like it. It was very predictable. I didn't like the female main character in here. I did like the boy's main, like the boy main character's point of view. I liked his chapters, but no. I just feel like this was too predictable. I didn't really believe in the chemistry both our characters had. If I compare this to books like Daughter of the Pirate King or even Sea Fire, this is very mediocre in comparison to other like pirate mermaid books. So I was very disappointed. I don't know, I feel like this plot was cheap. Too much of it was spent on land. I would have liked more boat elements. The writing doesn't really click with me, and I think I'm just not meant to read that author's work. I tried reading her most recent novel, which is, I don't remember the title. It's purple, I'll put it up here. But I didn't really like that one either. I kind of DNF'd that one as well. So I should have listened to my gut feeling and just unhauled it 2 years ago when I didn't finish it. But nonetheless, I read it. It's a pirate story. But yeah, nothing special about it, and it's going in the unhaul pile. I do like the cover. The ending was fun. Like the last 50 pages I feel were a little bit different than what I expected, and I did like that. That's kind of what redeemed it from being like a 2-star, but for like the majority, like 80% of the book, I just wanted to DNF it and move on. So there's that. We're done though. But on the bright side, yesterday, I also made a little bit more progress in Crescent City, and I'm actually enjoying this so much more than I expected to. As I have mentioned previously on my channel, I'm not a big fantasy reader, so this kind of urban fantasy is very intimidating to me, but I really like the characters and the world building, and I just think it's easier to understand than what I expected it to be. At first, I'm now like a little over 100 pages. I'm 106 pages in. I made it to part 2, and a lot of reviews were saying like the first 50 pages or up to 60 pages are kind of meh, but once you pass that and the majority of like the beginning and the world building, it's kind of like a prologue to the rest of the book. And I was like, it's not like bad, and I really enjoyed some of the characters we see at first, but then when this, like, I think it's page like 62 shit hit the fan, and it is picking up pace. Like, the first part of it was slow, but now I'm like actually invested in the characters and what is going on in the book. I don't want to spoil too much because I feel like this book is so much more enjoyable if you go in without knowing the synopses of it. But I'm really impressed, and I think I'm going to try to read 50 pages a day. This is what I've been doing for now. I did skip one day because I felt like crap, but it's very doable, and I mean, if I get into it, then I'll read more, but at least 50 pages a day would be great. So I need to read my 50 pages of that today, which I usually read this more during the evening and not like as a primary read during the day. So I'm going to put this down until tonight and pick up another book. I might also take a nap because I really don't feel good. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to pick up from my TBR. Do I want to like go on and finish the fantasy? Do I want a graphic novel, contemporary? I don't really know, but once I figure it out and start reading more, I'll update you guys again. Hello friends! It's Friday afternoon, and I am aware that I'm wearing the same sweater as yesterday, and I'm probably going to wear it every day because it's so comfy and I need comfy clothes right now. Like I said, today is Friday. Woo! And I have more bookish updates for you guys, which feels so good to say. It's April 3rd and I'm on a roll, people. Yesterday I did decide to knock off another owl, and I read my potions owl, which was to read a book under 150 pages like I specified in my TBR, which again will be linked in the cards if you guys haven't seen it because I work really hard on those videos. This is a little bit over 150 pages, but I don't have anything else that I can really read, so I decided to pick this up, and it being a graphic novel, you know, I feel like it's even shorter than a book that's 150 pages. I ended up really loving this. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I read it in a sitting and I'm so surprised at how much I actually enjoyed it. This tackles more serious topics than I expected it to. The plot line, without giving away too much, is about our main character who at school is propositioned by this adult who created this big online world to actually try it out because there aren't enough female gamers, and there's a lot of discussion on like human rights and different part of the world and societal expectations and so many things, as well as it being like a gaming world with beautiful illustrations. I loved the ideas that were surrounding the story, and I loved the execution. The pictures were amazing. I loved the color palette and all the drawings. I think it was really, really great. I loved Jen Wang's illustration style, so I wasn't surprised that I loved the illustration side of this graphic novel so much, but the story itself was really amazing. It's hard for me to give a graphic novel 5 stars, especially when it's not part of a series, because I always feel like they end a little bit too quickly, considering how short and how little like actual writing there is. But I really love this. And I decided also to start reading The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren as my next book, but I literally read 10 pages. We went to bed pretty early yesterday and I wasn't feeling the best. I'm feeling a little bit better today, so love that for me, except that I still look like a ghost. But yeah, this one actually starts with like a police interview of both our main characters, so I don't know what the hell goes down on this book, but we'll figure it out. I think it's going to be a really quick read. This is like 300 pages long, which is not that long at all, and the font is pretty, like, it's a weirdly shaped book, but I think I'm gonna fly through this, so hopefully I get to read a little bit of this today. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it today. That's a little bit intense because I'm in the middle of cleaning my apartment. I only have like the kitchen and the room where we have our bunnies left, but my boyfriend and I are going to order takeout and probably watch Pirates of the Caribbean because I want some actual good pirate content after reading that crap book that was To Kill a Kingdom. So we might do that. I know we're ordering food, which is really exciting. Obviously we cannot go out and we are very safe about like what we order and stuff, but we like to encourage the economy. We want to keep things rolling. So there's that. And I did get book mail, which got my Lysols too, because I do wait about like, well, I wait a few days before I actually touch the cardboard of it, and then I clean up the book with actual wipes. So I'm really excited. This is out of my comfort zone, but I've wanted to read it for a while now, and I finally bit the bullet. So, ooh, this is actually prettier than I thought it would be. So I got myself Aurora Rising, so let me clean that up real quick. Now that it's clean, this is written by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. They wrote the Illuminae files, which I tried reading a few years ago and I wasn't a fan of, but my reading taste has really changed since then. So hopefully I really like this. This is about a main character who is like graduating on top of his like space academy, and he's supposed to get like first pick on the crew he wants, but then he is late because he's saving this girl called Aurora, and then he gets stuck with like the last of the crew. So they're not like the best, and I guess it's following them on their space journey. I think there's a little bit of multimedia in here as well, kind of like Illuminae, but maybe a little less. But I'm really excited, and I wanted to read more sci-fi, so I thought this was a good place to start, and I treated myself to a new book. So, other than that, what happened? Oh yes, very exciting. I finally bit the bullet and I ordered Animal Crossing for myself. The game should be here tomorrow. I could have bought it like on Nintendo Switch, but I wanted the physical copy, just because I want to collect like the pretty games that I buy. I don't have a lot of Switch games, but I really wanted Animal Crossing, so because we're in quarantine and there's not much else I can be doing with my time, I think I'm going to get a lot of gameplay out of that. Hopefully it doesn't like disturb my reading, because I really want to knock out all my owls. But yeah, really exciting. I think I'm also going to start listening to the audiobook for Harry Potter, which is my History of Magic owl for like reading a book with witches in it. J.K. Rowling actually made the first audiobook free if you like stream it online. Like you can't download it, but still, and probably while I play the Switch, I'm gonna listen to that. So that's gonna be another way to knock out an owl. I don't usually read a lot of books audibly, listen to books I guess, but Harry Potter is always fun, and the narrator for that one is Stephen Fry, and I love his voice. So yeah, those are the updates. I'm gonna get back to cleaning so that I can relax and try to get more reading done. Hello friends! Look at me, I'm in another shirt for once. It's Monday. I didn't update you guys pretty much at all this weekend, which I kinda knew was gonna happen because usually when my boyfriend's here on the weekend, I try to spend time with him. I don't vlog or read as much, plus I did get my Animal Crossing game this weekend, so I've been playing that, which has surprisingly really helped with my anxiety. It's so soothing and so kind of mindless that it's been real good. Not so good on the reading prompts though, but it's okay. So obviously I'm going to end the vlog here, but I wanted to catch you guys up a little bit on my reading, because I did read a little bit since I've talked to you guys. I've been listening to the audiobook for Harry Potter. I should have listened to more of this while I was playing Animal Crossing, but I just kind of let my mind wander off, so I'm only 66 pages in, but still, we're doing some decent progress. I'm on chapter 5, which is Diagon Alley, one of my favorites, so I can't wait to listen to more of it. And I also started a new book, which, if you guys have watched my CANDYLAND Picks My TBR, you would know that I did mistake the prompt where, I think it's for her, is it for herbology? It's like read a book that starts with M, but I saw I because of the font. So I did need to change that, but I did decide to pick up My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, and I am currently reading that and loving it. I'm 75 pages into this, so obviously I can't say too much, but this is the story of Vanessa, who, like, it's a dual perspective timeline. We have her in the year 2000 and 2017. In the year 2000, it's kind of her having a relationship with a teacher, which, you know, it's really creepy to read about, but it's also very interesting, and I think this is based off a real life event. And then we have her in 2017 when another girl accuses her teacher, the same man, of obviously, you know, we're not going to get into the details because it's a little bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people, but it's our character and how naive she is, because she's still protecting the man, and she thinks like they were in love when she was like 14, and they still talk together, and it's just so interesting. As of now, the writing is fantastic. So if you want to see more of my thoughts on this, watch out for next week's vlog, obviously, because I should be finishing this, and hopefully more books. I think I want to try to keep Animal Crossing just for the evenings, not like play the entire day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to sign off now because I want to go and edit this so I can like schedule it and stuff and start my next weekly reading vlog. So I'll see you guys very soon. Hope you guys are doing well with your owls, and I love you guys. Happy reading. Stay safe.